So this is going to be an unboxing video, sort of. Technically it's an unbagging video because I had to unbox it already, so I could bring it home with me on my bike. So let's unbox it. If you're wondering what the bag looked like, or the box, it was about, a 1.5 feet big. It was this perfectly square box. A little bit of packing peanuts. Other than that, that was it. So here's the battery. So put that aside for the moment. And let's see. And I've got Cycle Satiator. Sorry about that. And my watt meter. Let's do battery first, because that's what I've been so excited for. So yeah, looks like it's packed pretty good. Some packing peanuts, some packing material. Okay, so here's the battery. You can see, make sure you can see that. That's what it says on it. 14S 5P 17.5 amp hour battery, 52 volt. Pretty sweet. Definitely, it's about the package weight was 12 pounds, so you figure the Cycle Satiator is probably 1.5 pounds, and the watt meter probably was nothing, so it's 10.5 pound battery. Yeah, looks like it's really well built, really well protected. I don't know if you can see this, but it's been sealed up really well. So you got your program cable here, and this is a XT90 connector as well as an XT60. So those are your three connections, and then they sent a couple things. They sent a XT60 female to female, which is a nice little adapter. And they sent the controller side of the XT90 connector. So what I'm going to do is, I think that I'm going to wire this to my controller, and then I'm going to build an XT60 to XT90 adapter. And what that'll allow me to do is to be able to use my backup battery pack without having to change anything around. Going to XT60 to XT90 should be totally fine. I'd rather have, when this is my main pack, have this all XT90 and have it just straight plug and play, so I don't have to worry about screwing around or anything, and have a straight connection. But nice little case. Thought that was kind of cool. Alright, so there's battery and connectors and nonsense. We'll do my watt meter next. This thing, let's see, there we go. It's pretty dope. I found this with a bunch of different names, so I'm assuming it's just a generic watt meter. I didn't buy the Unicycles one. No offense, I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looked. So this one does the exact same thing, and already has the XT90 connectors on there as well. So, oops. So let's see, I'm gonna adjust this up slightly. This is my AS200V, by the way, if you're wondering what camera I'm using and why I keep looking at my wrist, because it has a little display on it. So yeah, this is it. Nothing special. I mean, once I plug it in, we'll be able to see. That's more or less it. There's a little instruction manual in there, which I'll get to at some point, I'm sure. Not anytime soon, but alright, so there's that. And this is what I'm curious about. So I ordered the Cycle Satiator. I got everything all at the same time because I was hoping, and I'm hoping since I haven't even looked at it yet, that they have terminated it to XT60, because that's what the charge lead is on my battery. I think it comes with an XLR connection. Actually, no, I take that back. I can't do that. So we'll see. Oh yeah, it looks like this. This is what they did, and this is kind of what I was assuming they would do. They basically just made an adapter for me, so it's an XLR connection to XT60, because this is just a standard mic connection. XLR is a microphone cable connection. I'm not going to screw around with that. I'm going to leave those exactly the way they are, just because that'll keep my satiator stock, so I don't have to screw around with that. This is the packing slip that came with it. But it doesn't matter. Here is the Cycle Satiator manual. And I'll check the firmware once I get it up and running. So excited for this charger, man. I dropped the money because I know that this is the charger to end all chargers, and I'm so excited for it. So excited. I just figured I would buy everything, redo them. You know, I was gonna stick with LiPo, and the reason why I didn't, no, I won't get into that now. I'll just keep continuing with the unboxing stuff. So this is a standard UPC cable. So this is what you plug into the back of this. So they used to have it to where the charge cable was actually on this side, and honestly, I wish they would have left it that way, because when I'm gonna mount this, luckily, the cool thing is on this. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around, but this is kind of important. So this battery, I don't know if you can see with the camera the way it is, but basically it's a little bit higher than it is. Oh, actually, there's a right here. So it is 4 inches. Yeah, I definitely can't read that. Anyway, it's 4 inches high, and it's only 3 inches across. So what that means is my bag for my bike, the LiPo packs that are in here are 4 inches wide already, so I know it's going to be the right width, and this is made for these batteries anyway. But that means that it's 5.5 inches tall. So that means with the battery flipped on its side like this, then I have 2.5 inches up here, which happens to be the exact amount that I need to be able to put my Cycle Satiator up there. So now I don't even have to screw around. I can just put this inside the bag. Put this inside the bag with the Cycle Satiator just on top. Again, here's the other side. Has the proprietary power cable with a screw-on lock, and again, genuine Neutrik. You can read it. Neutrik connector. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Both of them are Neutrik. Actually, this one doesn't say Neutrik, but so maybe it isn't. Yeah, this one does feel lighter. I could switch it out, and I might do that anyway, just because this cable is pretty small as well. I might end up just putting I have another female side of the XLR connector. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it seems good enough. I'm not really that worried about it, but it would be cool to have, you know, just Neutrik all around. But no big deal. Yeah, so that's basically it. If you're wondering how this will go, basically we got the XT90 connector here, which this should actually power on when I have the battery connected, but it doesn't. so it's not a big deal. Maybe it has to be a completed circuit. Guess we'll find out. And yeah, we'll go ahead and start charging it and go from there. But yeah, there's my new battery system. This is about it was about $835 shipped, so about $550 for the battery and about $250 for the Cycle Satiator, and about $20 for this plus shipping. Yeah, not too bad. Definitely worth getting all at the same time, just so it all matches and all that works together. And yeah, we'll get charging it, and I'll do some more videos on what I think of the Cycle Satiator and the battery, and start playing around. Okay, so I'm going to go charge the battery up, and what I first noticed is that there is a female connection on the battery, and the charger, oops, where's the charger? The XLR connection is also a female connection. So, and they sent me a female to female adapter. So, female all around. I'm like all about the ladies today apparently. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this end and make it into a male end instead from the charger, instead of making an adapter. I thought about doing that and just making a male to male, but I don't think it's like one more part to lose, you know what I mean? Like one more part that could just totally screw me over if I don't have it with me, or forget it, or it falls off or breaks. So yeah, I think the best case is just to solder a new one of these guys on. Okay, so I re-terminated the battery or battery adapter, and just gonna get the heat shrink shrunked. So now I can fire up the battery charger. Okay, so let's plug in our Cycle Satiator. Try to see. This is going to be kind of hard. I'm just going to get really close. But yeah, it says no profiles active. Select battery charge profile. So we're going to go down to, so I get close enough where you can see. Going to go down to 52 volt lithium, and I'm going to do a 85% charge at 4 amps. You can see that. Started off right. Don't charge your battery to 100%. Of course, I'll do, I'm sure I'll do one range test at some point to see what my battery can do. But for now, I'm just going to charge it at 85%. Keep it happy. So, okay, so we'll hold to select. Okay, it says charger. Okay, so far so good. Activate profile. Let's actually let's unplug it just to be sure. So we click yes to activate. All right. Blah blah blah. Okay, so now I'll plug this in. And hold to start. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about why I bought my new battery. So I ride my bike every day. It was 30 miles a day. Now it's going to be 40 miles a day because I'm moving a little bit farther out of town. So I've got, my 3 packs here, 5 amp hours each, 52 volts each, and I run them all. They're all series connections, as you may or may not be able to see. There you go, series connections. And then I have, then all 3 of these packs end up plugging into a parallel connection, which then goes to my controller. And of course, then when I go to charge it, I've got to, disconnect all these series connections, and then I've got my bag full of, the leads for that, so I've got to plug in all 6 of these things, and more or less, even though I still consider LiPo to be an amazing tech, and I even considered getting a 7S packs and getting a different charger instead, and it still would have been cheaper than buying the battery I did. But the reason I didn't, and the reason why I would have done 7S, is because so basically you've got to make 52 volts, I've got two 6S packs and a 2S pack. So I've got to charge the 2S packs independently. So I can basically disconnect everything and plug all my 6 batteries in, my 6S batteries, charge those all at once, then unplug them, switch out the connectors, and then plug in the 2S packs, and then charge those independently. It takes me about 2 hours. Really good charge time, really easy. So, but the thing is that it is such a pain in the butt to be able to charge, because then I've got to, not only do I have to bring my iCharger, my power supply, which you don't even see here, this thing, my parallel charging board, which I've fried like 9 of these, and I've got to bring all my connectors. And so what really got me thinking is, I'm trying to make this as reliable as possible, and even though this is efficient for people that are doing, like, riding their e-bikes for joyrides, or they want tons of power and they're just mountain biking or something like that, LiPo definitely still the way to go, because it's a lot cheaper. But if you're doing a daily commute like me, and you don't have room sometimes to, this is what I gotta lay this out every time, big area, charge everything. It looks like a bomb, so it depends on where you work. The fans are loud. There's lots of reasons why this doesn't make sense for a daily commute. So you look at all that mess, and now going to this. Ta-da! And this is all gonna be in my bag, so I'm not even gonna have to take it out of the bag or anything. I'm just gonna have to, plug it in and call it good. So there's that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. So this is all the stuff that, this is how the bike was sent, or the controller and everything. You can't really see, maybe, let me see if I can pull it out enough to where you can see it. There is a connection in here. It's, let's see, balls. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So it's a white connector right down there here. It's really crappy. The other day I was, my motor cut out on me, and I knew it was a connection that broke, and it was that connection, and I ended up being able to repair it on the road. But it really got me thinking about just the nonsense involved here. So you have that connector, which goes into from the controller. You've got this big long cable here, which is more or less a standard UPC cable as well, going into this connector here. Then that connector goes into 30 amp fuse box, which then I got lazy and I just plugged it into these little connector guys here instead of soldering the wires, and then it goes into an XT60 connector. So this whole lead right here from one end to the other is like 4 adaptions, right? Just to get to the lead. So I'm going to cut off this connector basically, and I think I'm going to wire the XT90 to this and just bypass all of this stuff. I was thinking about getting a 40 amp controller. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do that anymore, so I might end up putting the 30 amp fuse in line just so it's there. But yeah, that's the next update. Just waiting for the battery to charge. Gonna play with this for a little bit, re-terminate this if I have time before I go to work. So I'm all finished making my adapter. I decided to leave this white connector on, mainly because the lead in the bag is pretty short and I don't really want to screw around and just make it shorter. So for now I'm going to leave this adapter. I think I already soldered it up so you can't see, but the cable, the wire that came with the XT90 connector is like really thinly stranded, some sort of silver wire. It's not silver though. I guess it could be silver, I doubt it. But anyway, so I might just redo that with heavier leads anyway, but for now I just want to get it kind of working. and see what goes. So I left that connector, so this will be nice and easy to plug in, and has the 30 amp fuse box, and then now it's an XT90. So I went from all of this nonsense to this nonsense plus all the other junk to one simple adaptation, and we'll call that good. So now, yeah, just waiting for my battery to charge, and then I'll give an update once I've taken it out and, you know, tooled around with it. So I let the charger charge up to about 55 volts, so not quite up to 85%. It's probably like around 80%. It's because I wanted to make sure everything worked. I realized that I hadn't done that yet, and I've got to work in an hour, so I want to make sure all my connections are solid. I'm going to just take it for a cruise around the block and see what's going on. But I figured I'd record the first power up. Let's see how it goes. So I've got my battery in there. I've got it the bottom, this is 4 inches, and then this would be 3 inches deep. Oops, oh wait, there we go. So, so I have some space up here, and again, like I said, I was going to put the satiator up here. I since have decided against that, mainly because the satiator gets really warm, just as warm as any other charger, but I mean, it is fanless. It's amazing. It's so awesome. Good job. But I don't think it's a good idea to have it next to the battery. Yeah, so there it is. 0 amp hours used, 54.66 volts. And yeah, let's take it for its first spin. So I'm back from my ride. Everything is great. Everything works just fine. Let's take a look at what I used. Oops, where I'm at. I used 0.1 watt hour to go around the block. So that'll be cool to monitor as I go along. So on my ride, I thought about how I would want to mount the cycle satiator if I was going to. I ended up pulling off my pump and just checking to see what I would do. Without modifying the bike by drilling another hole down here into the frame, it's probably not going to happen that way. But the cool thing is the charger's now totally cool to the touch. So I guess to continue on that story, I'm going to put the cycle satiator in my bag to transport it with me, which is awesome because I have less weight on my backpack. But I think I'll end up pulling it out. I'm planning on getting like a trunk bag. I was going to get a pannier, and I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to probably get a trunk bag and be able to throw my my satiator into that while I'm at work, and I'll just plug it in that way, or just put it on the ground. But it would be nice to be able to put it on something. But I don't think I'm going to leave it in between the battery. I don't think unless I figure out some way of insulating that, I don't think it's a good idea, but there may be some way to do that. But for anyone curious, I wouldn't just put it right next to the battery. Even though it does have these little rubber feet on the bottom, which does insulate it a little bit, I wouldn't really trust it. I wouldn't really trust it that way. So anyway, I'll give you another update.